So hello, welcome to Animal Law Center of Nalsar University of Law and Legal Awareness web series. We have a very special guest today, Mrs. Menka Sanjay Gandhi, who is 8-time member of Lok Sabha, I think, and has served in as many as 4 governments of India, is a leading animal rights activist, is passionate about it, has helped country in many ways in becoming more compassionate towards animals, and has been guiding NALSA's Animal Law Center from its very inception. In fact, the center was set up at her initiative, and she is the chair of our curriculum designing, and the kind of interest she takes in NALSA's center is indeed praiseworthy. And whenever we are in any difficulty about this course, we need to go to her. So MA program in animal protection laws is the first master's program in India. In the world, I think only Barcelona University offers a master's program. There are few LLM in animal protection laws, but no master's program. I am going to talk to Mrs. Menka Gandhi about animal rights and about the opportunities which we have in this field, so that those who are interested in this course and who are interested in animal rights get a fairly good idea about it. Madam, this center is now training judges. So we have now recently received a request from the Bihar Judicial Academy, and as many as 800 judges of Bihar our center is going to train. We have already done it for a number of other states, and I must, on behalf of the university, express my gratitude for not only guiding us in helping us in setting up this center. So, madam, my first question is, for a country known for its tolerance and compassion, for a country where animals are worshipped, why we are becoming so cruel, both for the fellow human beings as well as for other living creatures and animals?
So I think this belief that we have of ourselves is a manufactured belief. We are no more, no less cruel and utilitarian than any other country in the world. And this opinion we have of ourselves as a great compassionate nation is in no way borne out by any facts, and not now, not for the last several thousand years. At every stage, we have used animals for everything and in the most cruel manner possible. So, on one hand, yes, we have a certain number of animals which have iconic status, especially religious iconic status. But that simply does not translate into our treatment of them in real life, whether it's the cow, whether it's Sarama, who we worship as the dog of the Pandavas, and in reality kill thousands of every day, whether it's the snake, who is Seshnag, or Ananta, and should be worshipped, but is killed in the thousands, still it's an endangered species. We have actually, there is no translation of our religious beliefs into our daily lives. The simplest statistics will bear this out. We drink the most milk, which of course, as you know, is gotten by giving an injection to cows twice a day or to buffaloes twice a day to make them give the milk faster, called oxytocin. Everyone knows it is illegal. Everyone knows that it's the reason for cysts in young girls now. Everyone knows that it's the reason for prostate cancer, but the government will not move to do anything about it. It's an illegal activity, which is regarded as par for the course. So, whether it's that, whether the fact that we are the largest beef exporters in the world, for no reason whatsoever, that even Sri Lanka can give a statement saying we are closing our slaughterhouses down because we're going to import from India. It's really shameful. We are the largest egg exporters and egg users. So, in which way are we not using animals? With 33% of our bells, these are the what we call the bullocks, are have got neck cancer. We have no vaccination program, which makes any sense. We have the world's worst centers in the districts run by the Animal Husbandry Department with no medicines. Even in Delhi, we have 79 animal hospitals without one injection and one goli in them, because the last time an indent was made for medicines was in September 2019, and that too for 1 week medicines. So if that can happen in the capital of India, what can happen in the rest of India? So this whole question of yours, that how is it that we are so compassionate? We are not compassionate in the slightest. We are as bad in our own way as anywhere else. The only thing is, sir, and that is that yes, we have more vegetarians than other people in any other country. The point
in terms
is,
of numbers, in terms of
in terms of
percentage,
numbers.
yeah, 77% people are non-vegetarian.
No, that's not true, sir. I think it would be closer to 50-50.
50-50.
Believe me. But even these 50% who are vegetarians and who are role model vegetarians, really good. The point is, even they indulge in milk and eggs. So how can we say, and they see, the Indian has this phenomenal capacity to make up the truth to suit himself. So they will say, oh, doodh to vegetarian, but it comes from the same animal. Meat is red blood cells, milk is white blood cells, but they have the same blood cells in every cell of the body. It doesn't, बैंगन का बच्चा तो नहीं है ना. So
ये बहुत बड़ी बात आपने कही कि मिल्क पीने वाले भी एनिमल्स के लिए क्रुएल्टी कर रहे हैं एक तरह से.
बहुत ज़्यादा, because the entire meat industry is based on the milk industry. Animals are not grown for meat in this country. They are grown for two reasons. They are grown for milk and they are grown for leather. We are the largest leather exporters in the world. So how does leather come? Let me explain to you. Every city gives a contract to people to pick up the dead bodies of animals, so-called. So this person who takes a contract usually pays between 25 to 30 lakhs. Now, how does he make up that money? Because his skin sells for 300 rupees. So you just divide 30 lakhs by 300 rupees and see how many animals does he have to kill or get killed in order to make even the money that he has paid to the government, much less the profit. So if he's paid 30 lakhs, that means he must be making 1 crore. That means he has to have 33,000 animals die in that city for him to make a profit. So how do they do it? They take injections. They inject the animal that is sitting on the road. And then an hour later, that animal dies of poison. And supposedly they're so unko kisi ne bulaya aur fauran hi unhone जानवर को हटा दिया. So it's not a dead animal, it's a killed animal.
Nice.
So the milk industry is responsible for everything. Now, school children and the army are the two biggest wearers of leather. It takes one cow skin or calf skin, makes only 2 pairs of shoes. So if you have one school with 2,000 children wearing leather shoes, then how many cows have been killed just for leather? It goes into crores. Now, leather is another import into India. The British wear it because it's a cold country. We are a hot country. We never wore leather before, and it's really bad for your feet because it doesn't breathe. So it squashes your feet in. The feet get very moist. You get fungus. Your feet grow in a certain direction so that as soon as you're older, you get corns. They cost you 1,000 rupees. You also have to wear what when we were young, called Keds, gym shoes. And so you have to buy 2 pairs of shoes. The polish that is used to make shoes, to make shoes black, is carcinogenic in the extreme. And so when the mother or the ayah or you clean the socks that have by now got shoe polish on them from trying to clean them for inspection, those then socks, the polish goes into the water and kills all the fish in the water. So, we start with these senseless items of leather. We start with the senseless items of milk, and then we convince ourselves that we are vegetarian. How are we
And we
vegetarian?
talk of pink revolution and white revolution is equally bad.
It's as bad, it's created as much harm. Pink revolution, white revolution, the green revolution was the biggest nuisance ever. It may have had very short-term gains by creating food, plenty of food, but that short-term gains is now compensated by the billions of people who have cancer. I and you have not eaten proper food since we've been born because of the Green Revolution. After all, pesticides were brought in by the Green Revolution in the early 60s. And the people bringing them in got Padma Shris and Padma Bhushans for having poisoned the whole country. And now we have the worst pesticides. India is now using the worst pesticides in the world called neonicotinoids. Pesticides that have been banned by Europe, under consideration for banning in America, brought in by a company called Bayer. And they discovered that all the studies done by Bayer were not true. Now, this is the fourth largest pesticide in India. It is brought only for what you call that GM, genetically modified cotton. Now, considering that the genetically modified cotton was brought in only because they said that it won't need pesticides, why is it using the worst pesticides in the world?
My goodness. और इन issues पे कोई बात नहीं होती.
कोई बात नहीं होती. All the ministers are deliberately chosen so that they know nothing about these issues at all. I mean, in any government, not just one, but any government. The point is, these are scientific issues. These are not political issues at all. We are poisoning ourselves every day. And there are things that government has to draw a line at, just as they draw the line at individual murder and individual pickpocketing. Why can't we draw the line at mass murder, which is pesticide? You just take the one statistic in Punjab. How many children are being born in Amritsar alone whose bones are not joining on top? And they have traced this back to a specific chemical used in the food. Why do we have a train, a cancer train going every day from twice a day from Punjab to, I think, Bikaner, which is now only allowed to have two people in it, the cancer patient and his attendant. And there is a line of 6 months of people with cancer going there. Do we not look at mass murder?
ये real national issues हैं जिन पे कोई बात नहीं है. हम emotive issues की बात करते हैं.
But these are issues in which we have the opportunity. You see, there are two types of administrations here. One is the government administration, in which run by the minister and bureaucrats under him. They are not open to learning at any point by anybody. There is a deliberate move that every committee that studies these issues is to be only made with people who know nothing. Just like you can put a pediatrician in charge of the COVID program all over India, instead of putting a community health specialist, the same way you can put people who know nothing. Now, time and again, I have brought it up. I'll give you one example. If I'm speaking too much, sir, you please continue.
No, please. It's a learning experience for me and for all my viewers.
I'll give you an example, sir. In the animal husbandry ministry, they decided a couple of years ago that they would put 1,800 crores into artificial insemination of of cows by bulls. So in order to get this artificial insemination program done, they took bulls and they put them into 600 different centers. And they have started taking the semen out of them. Now, how do they take the semen out? This bull is tied up the entire day. And 4 days a week, he is taken out in the morning and he is given an electric shock in his anus, which is so terrible that his legs fall down. And in the shock of the electric shock, his semen comes out. Now, they do this every day with this poor bull. Now, what happens after that is, because his penis is not accustomed to this shock, the penis becomes very sore. So bacteria starts developing because he is licking his penis when he goes back to try and calm it down. Nobody is putting any medicine on it because they do not recognize it. So he develops 8 different kinds of very, very serious bacterial and viral diseases at the point of the penis. Now, when that semen starts coming out, it contains all this bacteria and virus. When that is put into the cow, 2 things happen. 1.5 lakh people have been employed who have received 1 week training for what normally takes 5 years to train a doctor. They have received 1 week training and they are at the lowest economic level, the class 4. And their job is to go into villages and inseminate the cow with this semen. Now, it's an injected process. You need an injection. So the injection often breaks through and into the uterus and makes a hole, punctures it. So the unknown to the owner of the cow, his cow has a hole in her uterus, which is painful and which is now an ulcer and which is going to get bigger and bigger because it's internal and he has no idea. So 2 things happen. 1, because of the hole in the uterus, manufactured by the person who's giving it, she loses her life. But before she loses her life, she loses the baby. The second is that those 8 diseases which are communicated to her, all of which either cause an abortion or cause an extremely sick child, which for the rest of its life will have to be supported on medicine and will give very, very sick milk. So you are destroying an entire generation of people, animals with a really badly thought out program. Now, when I've brought this to the attention of the government, it makes no sense to them at all. Their rate of success of children born from this program ranges from 2% to 13%. Now, any program which produces 2% success should be either modified or abandoned.
दूसरे कंट्रीज में मैडम कैसे करते हैं इसको?
In most countries, there is a very strict implementation of, and the bulls are checked all the time. We are now buying semen from a country whose semen has been declared by OIE, which is the kind of the UN for animals, or WHO for animals. They have declared that it's the worst semen in the world. It should never be touched. Well, we are buying from them because they are selling it cheap. So,
तो हमारा जो ये सब बात है और सियासत है कि हम गांव माता का बड़ा प्रोटेक्शन कर रहे हैं, ये तो फिर सब झूठ हो गया एक तरह से.
सब झूठ है और हमेशा झूठ था, हमेशा. तो हम आपसे ये अर्ज कर रहे हैं कि to come back to the point, because I've diverted from the point, to just give you an example. There are 2 ways to fix a problem. Either you make the politician who makes the policy and his bureaucrats learn. That is the best, the safest, and the quickest way, because all power rests in their hands. But they are not prepared to learn. There is an arrogance here in the bureaucracy, and there is a quality in the politicians which make them totally immune to any kind of learning. So we abandon that rasta. And the second rasta is your rasta, which is we train lawyers brilliantly. We don't train them just in the law, but we train them, as Nalsar is training them, into why. Today, when I'm talking to you, I'm not going to talk to you about the law because I don't know very much about the law. I mean, I know what I want and I know what I want from you. But I'm not going to say dafa 420 mein se dafa flana mein. What I'm trying to teach people is why we need to change. The impact of this on human beings is killing us. We are not killing animals. We are just simply killing ourselves. Do you know that almost every cow has got a foot and mouth or has had foot and mouth at some point? Foot and mouth is a communicable disease to human beings. You will get pimples here, pimples here. You will get rashes for the rest of your life once you have meat that of an animal that has had foot and mouth. But we have never been to court. Now, if we can train brilliant lawyers who understand why they are doing what they're doing, not just simply because a client has come to them, we will then be able to make policy through the courts, because what I have seen is there is a certain number of judges, not all, not even a very high percentage, but a certain percentage is prepared to do learning. They are prepared to read the briefs, they are prepared to listen, they are prepared, they have flexible minds, and they understand the connection between cruelty to animals and cruelty to human beings and realize that it's the same thing. Now, we can only have great judges if we have great lawyers.
Correct, correct, correct.
And you are creating great lawyers in this field by giving them MA programs, by taking so much personal interest as you have, not now, but for the last 7-8 years. Now, every law college in India has a program for animal law. And so we're producing a new generation of people who are unafraid to challenge. Before it used to be seen as halka pulka. Are billi mar gayi to mar gayi hai. Now, yesterday, there was a woman who took a dog, somebody else's dog, unke saath ladai thi. And she put the dog in between her door. And she banged the door on the dog about 20 times till the dog died. By the time it died, the dog was like melted butter because she had just bashed the life out of him. Can you imagine what this woman would be doing to her children or to her husband? Because she was not interested in the dog. It was not the dog who she was taking it out on. It was the neighbor. So therefore, what have you done? What have you created? There is a psycho on the loose. And yet we do not have the ability to do anything with this woman except take her to the police station, make her sit for a couple of hours, and allow her to take bail under 429. That's it.
That's it. चलिए मैडम, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. थैंक यू वेरी मच. आई एम श्योर कि आपके पैटर्नेज में ये कोर्स और सेंटर आगे बढ़ेगा, और जो देश के लिए आपका विजन है कि हम एक लविंग और कंपैशनेट ह्यूमन बीइंग्स बने और सारे लिविंग बीइंग्स के साथ मोहब्बत से रहें, उस तरीके का देश बने. अब मैं लास्ट में अपने कलीग विवेक मुखर्जी से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि वो थोड़ा इस कोर्स के बारे में भी हमको बता दें.
प्रोफेसर मुस्तफा, मैं आपका धन्यवाद करना चाहती हूँ. You have been a visionary by starting this course. You are not only an intellectual whose columns I read with great interest, but you have been a visionary. We don't want a compassionate country. I mean, that's the ideal. वो बनने वाला नहीं है. और जैसे जैसे population बढ़ती जाएगी, वो less and less compassion आएगा. What we want is an intelligent, well-read population which understands what policies are good for them.
Correct.
And which is prepared to stand on its own feet. Now, this MA program in animal protection law is going to prepare and be the seed for something that will become a banyan tree one day. In creating this kind of awareness in self-protection, अगर सरकार आपकी रक्षा नहीं कर सकती है, तो आप अपनी रक्षा खुद करें ज्ञान से.
बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल.
And that's why this program is really important.
Thank you so much, madam.
Thank you, sir.
मेनका गांधी जी से हमारी बातचीत जारी रहेगी. अगले एपिसोड में आपसे फिर मुलाकात होगी.
Hello everyone, I am Vivek Mukherjee and I am the faculty coordinator of the Animal Law Center. जैसा कि आपने अभी जो इंटरेक्शन हुआ मिस्टर फैजान मुस्तफा एंड श्रीमती मेनका गांधी के साथ, जैसा कि आपने देखा कि बहुत सारे इश्यूज हैं जो इंडिया में उतना इम्पोर्टेंस नहीं मिल रहा है, या इंडिया में उतना ज्यादा इन सारी चीजों के बारे में चर्चा नहीं हो रही है. तो उसी कॉन्टेक्स्ट में हम लोग मास्टर्स इन एनिमल प्रोटेक्शन लॉज लॉन्च किए हैं एट द एनिमल लॉ सेंटर. एंड दिस मास्टर्स वाज इंट्रोड्यूस्ड विद द ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ केटरिंग टू पीपल जो लोग बहुत सालों से हमें कहते आ रहे हैं कि एक कोर्स होना चाहिए जो लोगों को ट्रेन करे to be equipped with the law so that they can help animals. And being a law school and being a center working on animal laws, we thought हमारे ऊपर moral responsibility है कि हम ऐसा एक कोर्स लाएं जो सभी के लिए ओपन हो, जो लिमिटेड नहीं हो किसी टेस्ट से या किसी एग्जामिनेशन से या किसी बैकग्राउंड से, या आपने 5 साल का एक्सपीरियंस है आपके पास तो ही आप ये कोर्स ले सकते हैं. ऐसा नहीं है. कोई अपर लिमिट नहीं है कितने लोग हो सकते हैं कोर्स में. कोई भी ये कोर्स ले सकता है जिसके पास भी बैचलर्स डिग्री है. नालसा, जैसा कि आप जानते हैं, एक प्रेस्टिजियस इंस्टीट्यूशन है, पिछले कई सालों से टॉप 3 में रहा है इंडिया में। द एनिमल लॉ सेंटर जो 2018 में शुरू हुआ था, वो अभी तक 2 MOU साइन कर चुका है। पहला MOU हमने बार्सिलोना यूनिवर्सिटी के साथ साइन किया था, दूसरा MOU वेरी रिसेंटली हमने हार्वर्ड लॉ स्कूल के एनिमल लॉ एंड पॉलिसी प्रोग्राम के साथ किया है। हम लोग क्या करते हैं सेंटर में? वी आर रनिंग सेवरल प्रोजेक्ट्स। एक प्रोजेक्ट जो हम लोग पिछले 3-4 साल से कर रहे हैं वो है, इट्स कॉल्ड द ट्रू कॉस्ट ऑफ एग्स, जिसमें हम लोग बेसिकली 4 भाग में ये समझने का कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि जो अंडा आप खाते हैं या जो पोल्ट्री प्रोडक्ट आप कंज्यूम करते हैं, जो मीट आप कंज्यूम करते हैं, उसके पीछे कितनी क्रुएल्टी होती है। उन लोगों के अगेंस्ट क्रुएल्टी जो वहां काम कर रहे हैं, उनको उनका लेबर राइट्स कितना प्रोटेक्ट हो रहा है, कितना इंश्योर हो रहा है। जो छोटे बच्चे वहां काम करते हैं, उनको कितना, उनका ह्यूमन राइट्स कितना प्रोटेक्ट हो रहा है। हम ये भी देख रहे हैं कि एनवायरनमेंट पे क्या इम्पैक्ट हो रहा है। हम ये भी देख रहे हैं कि वेलफेयर पे, एनिमल वेलफेयर पे, एनिमल्स पे क्या गुजर रही है जब वो पोल्ट्री इंडस्ट्री में है। मेनका गांधी मैम ने अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन किया कि जो मुर्गियां होती हैं उनका क्या हाल होता है इन छोटे छोटे केजेस में। एनिमल लॉ सेंटर जो HSI है, जो ह्यूमन सोसाइटी इंटरनेशनल, हमारे जो मेजर कोलैबोरेटर्स हैं जिनके साथ हम ये कोर्स लॉन्च कर रहे हैं, वो लिटिगेट कर रहे हैं दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट में कि केजेस का साइज बड़ा हो। हम उनको भी उसमें हेल्प कर रहे हैं, हमारे स्टूडेंट्स उसमें हेल्प कर रहे हैं, हमारे रिसर्चर्स उनको हेल्प कर रहे हैं। कुछ ऐसे और भी प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं जो हम लोग लॉयर्स के साथ, जैसे मिस्टर कृष्णन वेणुगोपाल के साथ हम काम करना चाहते हैं, हम मिस गौरी मोलेकी के साथ काम कर रहे हैं, हम मिहिर सैमसन के साथ काम कर रहे हैं, टू काइंड ऑफ expose our students to the practical aspect of animal law. So we also run a clinic, and students who take the MA course will also benefit from that clinic and from the projects that we do, because they have to write assignments and they have to write dissertation. तो हमारा जो एक्सपीरियंस है वो उनको भी मिलेगा। अच्छा, दूसरी बात हो गई कि नालसार क्योंकि एक प्रेस्टिजियस इंस्टीट्यूशन है, तो लोग नालसार से जुड़ना चाहते हैं। तो आप नालसार से कैसे जुड़ सकते हैं? आप क्लैट लिखेंगे या फिर आप कोई एडमिशन टेस्ट देंगे जिसके थ्रू आप नालसार के स्टूडेंट, LLM स्टूडेंट, LLB स्टूडेंट, IPM स्टूडेंट, जो रिसेंटली लॉन्च कोर्स है, उसके आप स्टूडेंट बन सकते हैं, PhD स्टूडेंट बन सकते हैं। एंड सिलेक्शन प्रोसेस इनवेरिएबली, क्योंकि ये इतना प्रेस्टिजियस इंस्टीट्यूशन है, बहुत ही रिगरस होता है। लेकिन इस कोर्स में कोई सिलेक्शन प्रोसेस नहीं है। हमारा थॉट प्रोसेस ये था कि हम ऐसा कोर्स नहीं बनाना चाहते हैं जिसमें हम सिलेक्ट करें लोगों को, और जब भी किसी को हम सिलेक्ट करते हैं तो कुछ लोगों को एक्सक्लूड करते हैं। वो हम नहीं चाहते थे कि कोई भी एक्सक्लूड हो हमारे कोर्स से। तो इसीलिए हमने एक तो कोई टेस्ट नहीं रखा है, जैसा किसी भी डिस्टेंस एजुकेशन कोर्स में नहीं होता है, और दूसरा हमने फीस बहुत लो रखा है। आप वेबसाइट उठा के देख लीजिए, नालसार के जो कोर्सेज ऑफर हो रहे हैं उसमें लोएस्ट जो कॉस्ट हो सकता है वो हमने इस कोर्स के लिए रखा है। 30,000 पर ईयर है, 2 साल का कोर्स है, 60,000 इन टोटल आपको पे करना होगा। एंड नॉट जस्ट दैट, द गुड न्यूज इज हमारे पास 10 स्कॉलरशिप्स भी है इस कोर्स के लिए, और 10 स्कॉलरशिप्स है जिसका मतलब है कि 10 लोगों को 50% फीस जो है वो माफ हो जाएगी। तो आप 60,000 के बजाय 30,000 पे करेंगे। And how do you apply for that scholarship? The link is in the description. You fill the form. आप कुछ questions का आंसर करेंगे, उन questions के आंसर्स के बेसिस पे हम ये डिसाइड करेंगे। एक कमिटी बैठेगी, अहिंसा फाउंडेशन के जो एक्सपर्ट्स है वो लोग बैठेंगे और फिर डिसाइड करेंगे कि कौन सबसे ज्यादा डिजर्विंग कैंडिडेट है, कौन 10 लोग है जो ये स्कॉलरशिप डिजर्व करते हैं। डिग्री की ऑफ कोर्स एक ब्रांड वैल्यू होगी, आपके पास नालसार की ID कार्ड होगी, और जब आप ये कोर्स कंप्लीट कर लेंगे आपके पास एक नालसार का डिग्री होगा, और नालसार के डिग्री का ब्रांड इक्विटी बहुत हाई है, आप सब लोग ये जानते हैं। अच्छा, आप क्या क्या कर सकते हैं? क्या आप वकालत कर सकते हैं एनिमल्स के प्रोटेक्शन के लिए? अगर आप पहले से लॉयर हैं और आपने ये मास्टर्स डिग्री लिया है तो आप कर सकते हैं। अगर आप पहले से लॉयर नहीं हैं और फिर आप ये डिग्री लेते हैं तो आप डायरेक्टली कोर्ट में एज ए वकील नहीं जा सकते हैं, बट आपको किसी वकील का असिस्टेंस लेना पड़ेगा। बट आपको सब कुछ पता रहेगा। आपको वकील जो है बेवकूफ नहीं बना सकता है कि एनिमल लॉज कैसे काम करता है। आपने सब कुछ, आप PIL कैसे फाइल करते हैं वो जानते हैं, और PIL फाइल करने के लिए वकील की जरूरत भी नहीं पड़ती हाई कोर्ट और सुप्रीम कोर्ट में. यू जस्ट नीड टू बी अ पब्लिक स्पिरिटेड पर्सन. RTI कैसे फाइल करते हैं आपको सिखाया जाएगा, आपको FIR कैसे करते हैं वो सिखाया जाएगा. तो वकील जो है आपको हायर तो करना होगा, लेकिन आपको वो बेवकूफ नहीं बना सकता है. आप इस तरह से ट्रेन होंगे. आप अगर नया NGO खोलना चाहते हैं तो एक पूरा कोर्स है हमारा जो आपको गवर्नेंस के बारे में और कैसे NGO खोलते हैं, कैसे NGO चलाते हैं, वो भी सिखाया जाएगा. आप नॉन प्रॉफिट ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस, NGOs में काम कर सकते हैं एनिमल क्रूएल्टी रिस्पॉन्स में, वाइल्ड लाइफ प्रोटेक्शन में जो एक बहुत बड़ा सेक्टर है. वाइल्ड लाइफ डिपार्टमेंट में भी ऐसे बहुत सारे वैकेंसीज होते हैं जहां ट्रेन्ड लोगों की जरूरत है एनिमल लॉज में. सिविल सोसाइटी ग्रुप्स के साथ काम कर सकते हैं, एकेडेमिया में काम कर सकते हैं. ये मास्टर्स डिग्री है तो आप टीचिंग भी कर सकते हैं इसके बाद, अगर आपके पास नेट का क्वालिफिकेशन है. आप गवर्नमेंट के साथ काम कर सकते हैं पॉलिसी बनाने के लिए. देयर आर सो मेनी ऑफ दीज थिंक टैंक्स जो गवर्नमेंट हायर करती है, और जो थिंक टैंक्स जो गवर्नमेंट को क्रिटिसाइज भी करती है, जो बहुत सारे सेक्टर्स में सिविल राइट्स के लिए और बहुत सारे सेक्टर्स में काम करते हैं, ह्यूमन राइट्स के लिए काम करते हैं. बट इनवेरिएबली दे विल कम अक्रॉस केसेस जिसका कोई ना कोई कनेक्शन है एनिमल प्रोटेक्शन या एनिमल वेलफेयर से. दूसरी बात ये हो गई कि जो कनेक्शन है एनिमल क्रूएल्टी का क्रिमिनल बिहेवियर से, उस पे भी हम लोग रिसर्च कर रहे हैं सेंटर में. तो क्रिमिनल लॉ का जो पूरा दुनिया है उसमें भी आप एंटर कर सकते हैं एनिमल लॉ के जरिए. तो आप उससे रिलेटेड जॉब भी देख सकते हैं. आप अपकमिंग फील्ड्स जो है फिश वेलफेयर, रिप्लेसमेंट ऑफ एनिमल्स इन इंडस्ट्री, ये सब, और जो क्लीन मीट वाला कॉन्सेप्ट है उसमें जो साइंस इन्वॉल्व है, जो लोग साइंस बैकग्राउंड के हैं उसमें आप काम कर सकते हैं. प्लांट बेस्ड फूड पे काम कर सकते हैं, फूड टेक्नोलॉजी पे काम कर सकते हैं. तो बहुत सारी चीजें हैं जो सिर्फ ऐसे नहीं सोचा जा सकता है कि आप एनिमल लॉज में अगर मास्टर्स कर लिए तो एनिमल लॉज के ही किसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के साथ जुड़ जाए. 100 चीजें हैं. एंड वी डिड अ पोस्ट इन सोशल मीडिया जो दिखाता है कि एक छोटा सा आइसबर्ग है और उसके नीचे कितनी सारी चीजें उसको फाउंडेशन दे रही है. तो ये इसीलिए हम लोग कोर्स में भी बहुत सारे लॉज आपको पढ़ाते हैं. आपको सिर्फ प्रिवेंशन ऑफ क्रूएल्टी टू एक्ट्स नहीं पढ़ाया जाएगा, आपको CPC भी पढ़ाया जाएगा, आपको CRPC, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल लॉ, IPC, ये सारी चीजें जो भी आपको हेल्प करेंगे एनिमल्स को प्रोटेक्ट करने में, वो सारा चीज पढ़ाया जाएगा. तो आई रियली होप कि आप ये कोर्स ले. आई रियली होप कि आपको हम लोगों से मिलने का मौका मिले और हम एक अच्छा डिस्कशन कर पाए. You write a good dissertation, you write good assignments, and then this becomes a launching pad for you for your career in animal welfare and animal laws. All right, good luck and take care.